Yo, meathead ass got 5 seconds to like this video. If you don't, then you gonna wake up looking like this nigga for the rest of your life.
Hello, motherfucker.
What up with these bitches? Diddy! I'm back with another reaction video. Today, we gonna be reacting to, what's this called, Shane? Michael Jordan. Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, a courtship. Dang, I don't know how to read shit. A courtship of rivals basketball game. This video was suggested by somebody in the comments in my last video, man. Hey, I told you I got you, Shane. So look what I'm doing, gang. I'm getting to the video you suggested. That's all y'all gotta do in the comments, bro. Post the video in the comments or type the name of the video in the comments. I want to see who you got to next. And I got y'all, bro. Make sure I hit that like button, subscribe, man. Try to get 10 likes on this video. Roll to 1.7k subs. Y'all see the sub count right there? Let's hit 1.7k subs, man. Hit that sub button, turn on notifications. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
They talk about every
Let's do it,
day
y'all boys.
somewhere.
Let's do it, y'all boys.
If I go to a foreign country, magic, what magic? It's the same everywhere.
Dang, it's like that. That's how the rival was back then with them two, like that. He said you go to another country and they go be like, magic, where's magic? Dang, magic at home, gang, leave him alone. I'm talking about Magic and Bird, man. Let them retire in peace. Oh yeah, chat, one more thing. Just like the last video, bro, this is an hour and 27 minutes long, gang. I'm only gonna do one part. I'm gonna do 3 different parts, 30 minutes each. 30 minutes first part, 30 minutes second part, and 30 minutes the last part, bro. So yeah, if y'all fucking, I'm trying to stop cussing. If y'all messing with these videos, go ahead and let me know. I'm gonna drop part 2. First part, 30 minutes. This video will be 30 minutes, y'all. Look at Magic, baby Bird.
We don't have to see each other. We don't have to say hello. We don't have to call it.
Magic.
That's my main competition. It's always been like that.
You know you got this tight bond with this cat.
Bird Magic battle.
You don't have to see him for a year or 2. But you're always gonna be linked to him.
We got this connection. It's never going to be broken. I mean, right to our graves. They'll be talking about this 100 years from now.
Okay, so chat. How many times did Magic play Bird in the finals? If they did play in the finals. How many times did they match up in the finals? And who won this series out of Magic and Bird? Courtship of rivals.
It all began here in Salt Lake City, Utah, on the night of March 26, 1979. It was the NCAA championship, Indiana State versus Michigan State, a game that still ranks as the highest-rated college final ever on television.
So they matched up in college.
A game that's now
okay. So they matched up in college first. They met each other in college and played against each other.
Highest-rated college final ever on television. A game that's now remembered as a prologue to a rivalry that transformed a sport and intertwined 2 legacies. But on that night, March 26, 1979, the first time Magic Johnson and Larry Bird ever went head-to-head on a basketball court, they were simply 2 young men trying to win a very big ball game.
Well, this is probably the biggest game I'll ever play in my life, and I just feel like, you know, I'm representing not only myself, my team, but we're representing our school and
that boy Larry Bird always been number 33.
A dream come true, really, for me. I won the state title back in my home state, and then my next accomplishment was going to the NCAA and
Magic.
A game like tonight.
Young Magic, man.
They were 2 stars thrown together by the cosmos to compete, but only one of them had been groomed for the spotlight. In his case, it seemed since birth.
I think his upbringing in East Lansing really put that smile on his face in the beginning, and it never came off.
Born August 14th, 1959, Irvin Johnson grew up in Lansing, the gritty industrial capital city of Michigan. Raised under this little roof, he was one of Christine and Irvin Johnson Sr.'s 10 kids. Christine was a school custodian, while Irvin Sr. worked 2 jobs nearly around the clock.
My father, he got up early every morning, 6 o'clock or so, and he went to work on his trash hauling truck every single day. Around noon, he would come home, catch a nap, and then he worked for General Motors for 30 years. And he won an award for never being late and never missed a day.
Okay. So Magic's daddy was a working man in his life too. A lot of y'all be saying black men don't stick around to be in their child's life. Come on, gang, proof is in the pudding. His daddy worked 2 jobs and still made time for him to be in his life. Come on, gang. Stop hating.
As a youngster, Irvin displayed his own strong work ethic on the blacktop.
I was out there all day long. Before we went to school, the bus leave at 7:30. I was out there at 6:30 working on my game. My mother sometimes had to bring me food, or she would have one of my brothers and sisters go get that boy so he could eat something.
From a very young age, Irvin knew what he wanted to do.
Sister?
He had it all planned out.
My dreams were to play in the NBA and become a businessman.
The first neighborhood basketball powerhouse, Sexton High.
I knew the players, I knew the tradition. I wanted to be a part of that. And it was on the west side of town, which was at that time predominantly black.
But when Lansing, like many cities in the mid-70s, began busing to desegregated school system, Irvin's journey took an unexpected detour to a predominantly white school across town.
My first day at Everett High School was my first time I really had to understand there was a race problem. Nobody...
Oh! Dang, man, you that goddamn motion? Bro, Magic, when he was in high school, gang, he couldn't go to the high school he wanted to because it was racism going on back then. Bro, that means you was in high school in the 1912s and 1920s, son. Like, bro, you that old? Racism was still around when you was in high school, gang? So you couldn't go to the high school you wanted to, gang? You had to go to the over across town to the black school, bro? Come on, gang. Dang. Magic really didn't seen it all, been through it all, gang. Look at his son. He been through it all. When I say he been through it all, he been through it all, gang. Look at his son. Had to go get from white school to the black school because they'd be a racist. Come on, gang. Dang, Magic. I feel for you, Shine. Hey, man. Magic. Black power, Shine. Black power.
White would speak to anybody black, and nobody black would speak to anybody white.
A lot of racial tension, a lot of fights, rioting. They didn't want minorities there.
He kind of shrugged it off, and basically his attitude was, okay, well, I'll overcome this.
Whenever there was any racial problems, the principal would get Irvin and go talk to these kids. I can just
overcome it, Magic.
Hands, calm down, just calm down. He'd break up fights.
Talk with his friends, tell him, let it go. We can't fight about everything.
That boy Magic had that pro going
play
on.
Basketball.
And there was no dispute over Irvin Johnson's ability to play ball. His talent was so great that soon after his varsity debut, a local reporter, dazzled by his exploits, gave the budding star a nickname.
Magic.
In the beginning, I thought it was foolish and dumb.
Magic.
Know nothing about a nickname. Then what happened was, you start saying, wait a minute, it fits my game. Hanging out with my boys on the street corners, we used to sing Temptation songs. They started saying, hey man, Magic, that's cool. And then people on the street start saying, hey Magic. And I said,
He said he started saying, hoo-hoo. Magic crazy, Shan.
He started saying, hey Magic. And I said,
He bought into it, and I think he felt he had to kind of live up to that name. And I must say that he did.
Temptations.
More attention.
Yes, I'm old enough. I watched Temptations.
He wanted attention from anybody he could
5 Heartbeats. Hey, 5 Heartbeats, Temptation. Yeah, I know about him.
He wanted attention from anybody he could get it from.
Yeah, it does. I really love the game, and I just want to win.
On that rim. In high school?
Irvin loved to dress. Nice sandal belt pants and overcoats with the fur around the collar. Always had to have his afro blown out. He had to look the part, play the part.
Irvin was the first guy to have a posse. He not only had a posse of a lot of black kids, he had a lot of white kids and hanging around him.
That's right, Magic. Hang with both crowds, son. Don't be racist because they're racist to you, son. Like others, and they go like you. Whites, blacks, Hispanics, everybody, son. Good job, Magic.
Some of my white friends was like, hey, man, we're having a kegger tonight. Won't you come on by? And I said, what's a kegger? So he said, well, what it is, we get this big keg of beer, and you just go for it. Okay. Well, what time does the kegger start? Because regular party time in our neighborhood is 10, 11 o'clock. The kegger starts at 7. I said, the party starts at 7 o'clock? I said, okay, man, I'm going to come to the kegger. We had a good time. The music was kind of bad, but we had a good time, you know.
His senior year, Johnson did at Everett what he had planned to do at Sexton, win the state championship. And when it came to choosing a college, he decided to stay where the love would be assured, home in Lansing.
Next year, I will be attending Michigan State University.
Michigan State? That boy from Michigan? I ain't know.
At MSU, Magic's star quickly went national. But atop the college game, he soon discovered a certain
Magic
beside
and Bird. Larry.
The first time I saw Larry Bird was actually in a magazine. Saw his stats. Blown away by his stats. But let's see if he can really do it against us.
That's what I wanted to hear from Magic Johnson. Hey, I see them stats and everything in the paper and stuff, but can you do it against me? Magic. Yeah.
Us. And that's always a mindset of black players if he's a great white player.
In 1978, after his freshman year, Magic would quickly find out, when both he and Bird were chosen to play for Team USA in the World Invitational Tournament.
They would put Larry Bird and I on the same team together to scrimmage, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was blowing my mind because he's dominating Jack Givens, Player of the Year in college basketball. Larry Bird is eating him alive.
Okay, Larry.
I couldn't wait to call home and tell my boys, man, this dude named Larry Bird is for real. This is the baddest white dude I've ever seen in my life.
Giving him his props.
I thought he was very good. There's no question about it. I thought he's probably the best guard on the team.
Irvin Johnson, look at that.
We didn't get to play a lot, but you could tell.
I think our first game was in Kentucky. We got about a 10, 12-point lead. Man, they put us in. Went to 25, 30, just that fast.
Fast break again, 3-on-2.
Dying.
Griffin. And that's steal by Larry Bird.
Larry.
Take us out, the lead go back down, put us back in.
That's Bird and Johnson.
The show started again.
When you play with Magic, there's just something about it. You want to make that extra pass. You want to get that rebound and start to break.
We came down a couple times. I go behind my back, no look to him. He no look back to me. And
I was just noticing that, bro. Every time Magic would dime, throw a flash, he dime to Larry, Larry would throw another one. It was like back and forth.
I said, oh, man.
Here's that last play. Magic Johnson going in, drops off to Bird. Bird puts it back off, inside to Johnson. Super basket.
This guy got game.
They had some wonderful moments on the court, but they probably spoke to each other 4, maybe 5 times during that entire time period.
Jackie McMullen. Arthur when the game was ours.
And it was more like, hello, how are you this morning, Larry? I'm good, Magic. What'd you have for breakfast? Don't remember. Have a nice day.
But such curtness was hardly strange coming from Larry Bird, who was not only one of college basketball's best players, but also its biggest enigma.
I think he was a mystery to the extent that he wanted to be a mystery. He didn't enjoy doing interviews. He didn't go out of his way to do them. He wasn't particularly good at them. He was kind of like, hey, this is who I am. You want to know who I am? Watch the game. That's who I am.
I start to read materials that you're very quiet and you don't enjoy talking to newspaper people.
Well, you know, there's different kind of newspaper people. There's people that try to push you. You know, there's people who try to get things out of you. Things don't even pertain to basketball, and them are the type of people I like to stay away from.
He didn't want people talking about his
Good
family.
job,
He didn't
Larry.
want his mother to have to deal with that, or his siblings to have to deal with that.
You got to remember where Larry came from. You know, Larry was raised in a 2 or 3 room house on a railroad track. Their family probably lived on $50 a week. He was raised tough.
Okay.
Larry
He
Joe
wasn't one of
Bird
them
grew up in
privileged
southern
ones.
Indiana, in the twin towns of French Lick and West Baden. The Valley, as locals call it, was a tough working-class area. Tiny and remote, it was one of the poorest places in the state.
I didn't know that people made millions of dollars. I didn't know that everybody had a family car. I was in my own cocoon. I was in a small town with the people I knew, and I thought I would live there for the rest of my life.
Arriving Pearl Harbor Day 1956, Larry was the fourth of 6 kids born to
56?
Georgia and Joe Bird. Early on, he and his older brothers earned a reputation around the valley.
We were always considered troublemakers. We're either fighting amongst
Who this?
ourselves or
I was about to say, it looked like his
there was
brother.
always
Could
one
be
of
his
us
brother.
fighting somebody. Larry was always one that kind of instigated things, you know.
If I get my brother in a fight with somebody his age, I was happy as hell because I like to see him get beat up, and that's just the way it was. If I got in a scrape with some kid and my brothers didn't come to my side, they knew that when he got home, my dad was going to whip him.
That's right. Okay, so like I said in my old Larry Bird video, bro. Larry Bird is one of us, and no disrespect to you feel me, Caucasians, but Larry Bird is one of us. He's a brother, gang. Sorry to say, bro, but grew up like us, low income, $50 a week. They said, son, $50 a week. Hey, you get into a fight, and your brothers don't help you. You getting your brothers go get they butt beat when they get home. Same with us. Like everything just adding up, gang. It's making sense.
Larry and my dad were best of friends. They done everything together. When my dad would go out to my grandma's house, Larry would always go with him. They'd go fishing, do a lot of things together.
But Joe Bird also had a darker side, stemming from a traumatic tour of duty in Korea.
Larry remembers waking up in the middle of the night
overseas.
hearing his father's blood-curdling screams from the nightmares he had had from the war. What happened to his father in the war affected his entire life. He was never able to quite get rid of whatever those demons were.
A talented craftsman, Joe Bird struggled to hold steady jobs. And even when he was working, his demons would, on occasion, drive him to the bottle.
There were times when Joe went out with the guys and had a few beers and the wages didn't come home that night. And that didn't happen every day. It happened once in a while, but when money is as tight as it was for the Birds, once in a while was a major problem for their family.
My mom sometimes worked late, and sometimes she had 2 jobs, but that's the way it was. I worked at school during my lunch hours, worked at the local grocery store, put up hay in the summer. I mean, if you wanted money, you had to get it on your own.
To young Larry, actions spoke louder than words.
He was very quiet, kind of hung to himself a little bit.
I saw Larry take an F in an English class because he had to get up in front of his peers and give a speech. So I won't do it. But he just could not get up in front of his friends and talk. He was that shy.
Of course, next thing you know, when he knew it was time for all of us together at the gymnasium, there he'd be. The minute he'd get a basketball in his hand, things were totally different.
Basketball was just, it came to me, seemed like easy. I didn't have the quickness, I didn't have jumping ability. I just thought the game out.
By his senior year at Springs Valley High, Larry Bird had sprouted into a star. But Bird was from the Valley, hardly a hotbed of talent in the big-time world of Indiana hoops.
The first thing they say, well, they don't play nobody down there. He's from French Lick. They don't play nobody.
I think that put a chip on his shoulder, always having to prove who he was and how good he was.
He was good enough for Indiana University's Bobby Knight to come calling late his senior year.
Bobby Knight.
And folks in the Valley couldn't have been prouder. Their local hero was heading 60 miles north to play ball for one of the best college teams in the land.
Indiana.
Once I got to IU, it didn't take long to realize that I was out of my cocoon, had over 30-some thousand students, that I didn't have the funds. First week and a half, I thought, man, this ain't gonna work.
He left after 24 days.
Let my mother down. She didn't talk to me for 2 months, but it didn't matter what other people said. To this day, I don't care.
That's right. That's right, Larry. Hey, Larry. At the end of the day, you gotta live with yourself, son. Don't care what nobody else say, bro. He said his mama was mad at him for 2 months straight. 2 months? Come on, gang. This is my life I'm living, not yours. You can't dictate me, son. Man.
It didn't matter what other people said. To this day, I don't care.
Back in French Lick, Bird took to working for the city, hauling trash and painting park benches. Meanwhile, by that winter, his father's demons had taken him to an even darker place.
What happened? What happened?
By this point, Joe and Georgia were divorced, and he was behind in his payments to the family. The police came by, and of course they all knew him. So Joe said, hey, I need a few hours to get my affairs together before you take me away. So he called Georgia and he said, you guys will be better off without me, and I'm gonna take my life. And he put the phone down and he killed himself. He shot himself.
What? Nah, what? I did not know that, son. He unalived himself? Dang, son. That's probably gonna put Larry Bird in a tougher, darker, quieter situation. If you think he wasn't talking and being communicative to people before this, imagine how he finna be after this. His dad gone.
Together before you take me away. So he called Georgia and he said, you guys will be better off without me, and I'm gonna take my life. And he put the phone down and he killed himself. He shot himself.
Rest in peace, man. Joe Bird.
You know, it hurt Larry. I mean, that was his best friend. It's gone now. But Larry didn't show it a lot.
He just didn't say much. You know, he just kind of held it within. I've never heard him speak out about it at all.
I was mad when I heard about it, and I was madder after the funeral because I thought he sort of cut out on us during a tough time. But you know, he went through a lot in his life. He did what he had to do.
Dang, man.
If Bill Hodges hadn't been as persistent as he had been, Larry Bird might never have existed in any of our minds. I believe that with all my heart. I really do.
Who is she to him?
It was Bill Hodges, a young coach from Indiana State University, who convinced Bird to give college hoops another shot.
Wait, so if he went to Indiana, right? He went off to college. He said he did a couple weeks, 24 days, I think, and dropped out because he couldn't pay for it. And he went and said right now it's saying he went back. So how did he get the money to pay for it? Did he get a scholarship, full ride, or what?
So with a promise to his mom to graduate, Bird headed to Terre Haute and ISU, a school that never so much had been to the NCAA tournament.
Once I started playing, it's the same old thing. You know, he's at a small school and he ain't playing against anybody, which is fine. Still dominated.
Still dominated. I like that attitude about Bird, man. Still dominated. Yeah, I'm still gonna dominate wherever I play.
Gather, they no longer talk of whether Indiana has a new
spin move.
Now his claim to
Let me see. Basketball. NBA Pacers. Sport new faces. Boulder, ISU at the top.
It's just the way he plays the game.
Corner three.
Indiana has a new state bird. It's not the Cardinal now. Hey Larry, take a bow. Indiana has a new state bird.
By the time he had led tiny ISU as a senior to a 33-0 record, with a spot in the '79 title game, Larry Bird had become, alongside Magic Johnson, the talk of college basketball.
Okay.
Just a year after sharing the court on Team USA, they were back together. And the day before the big game, Magic couldn't wait to greet his old playmate.
Indiana State was on practicing, and we were waiting in the tunnel. We got there early. I wanted to definitely say hello to Larry, you know. When they came through, it was like nobody would say nothing. I wanted to go toward him, like his guys, like made sure that he didn't say nothing. And then they kind of start snickering, like, Michigan State, you in trouble. We're gonna kill you guys tomorrow.
I probably did snub him. I don't remember it, but I'm sure I did. I didn't want any, you know, like I call it love fest, hugging and slapping high fives with opponent. You're there for a reason. You're there to win a game.
That just set us on now.
That's right. Come on.
It is Indiana State against Michigan State. I'm Bryant Gumbel, and the fans here are going bananas.
I mean, let's face it, if Larry Bird were black and came from Chicago, it wouldn't have been as big a deal. They were polar opposites. One black, one white, one outgoing, one shy.
Racism, bro. Racism did that. That's racism.
Was the charm of the attraction.
The Bird against Magic. All of the superlatives have been used, and believe me, all of them have been warranted.
Heading into the tournament, Magic was the bigger star, but by tip-off it was Bird, having hardly missed a shot in the semifinal, who had become the focus of fans, and more importantly, of Michigan State.
We actually had 2 men on Larry everywhere he went.
Okay, double team.
I'm surprised they didn't play a box on one. You know, 4 guys on Larry and 1 on the other 4, because they didn't have a lot of talent. You know, if you stop Larry, you pretty much stop them.
Look at the pressure around him. 2-3 men, and he's short.
Good
D.
D.
Well, at all. Biggest game of my life. I didn't play well.
Bird, way short.
I think our length and our size, our jumping ability was able to bother him.
Bird hanging, can't score.
I didn't shoot well. Missed, I think, 3 free throws.
Larry Bird has had a cold shooting night.
I battled him, but I didn't have it.
Dunked on that boy. They only down by 9. They lost by 9.
1979. Magic, not only were you leader on offense, I thought you did a great job on Larry Bird in the
Magic.
zone, denying him the ball.
Yes, Coach gave us a good game plan to go against Larry Bird, and all we had to do was go out and do it. That's what we done.
And congratulations, Super Bowl game.
It was over, you know. That was my 4 years. I was done. No, it still hurts. And when you win 33 in a row and you walk into a game, you know, you never know what to expect, but I expect to win. We didn't win.
Dang.
Toughest loss I ever took.
I knew it was going to haunt him forever because we were going to see each other a lot.
In the NBA? Yes, sure.
The National Basketball Association, in its 33rd season, is troubled by diminishing crowds and declining television ratings, signs that fan interest may be waning.
If college basketball was flourishing at the end of the 1970s, the pro game was crumbling. After the golden era of Bill Russell and Jerry West in the 1960s, a merger with the ABA in 1976 had led not only to new teams, but a new temperament.
It was a new
Broke that
league,
board.
new times, with
Oh yeah,
renegades,
oh yeah,
with individuals.
Yeah, okay. I wish I was alive to see this type of work. They was getting rumbling, coming to stomach. Oh yeah. All right, come on.
It was a new league
Scuffing.
with new times, with renegades, with individuals.
There was an argument made, plausibly, I think, that it was too black a league for the United States of America in the late 1970s.
You think about the Knickerbockers at the time. The running joke was it was the Knickerbockers. You know, that's what it was. It was the N-word.
It's turning off a lot of white customers that are coming to the game, you know.
Why?
I think there's a conflict between the white and the black, and I don't enjoy going to basketball and seeing all black players. I mean, I think
Hey man,
when they say
two black, I would have smacked the taste out of his mouth. I heard him say that. What you mean, bro? You only enjoy watching black players? Come on, gang. I would have beat the brakes off him.
Black, they meant not just in terms of color, but in terms of style. Let me get mine, and the hell with yours.
Basketball for us was about the best moves. You wanted to be that big player that everybody talked about.
Cooper.
You wanted to be the one. You didn't think about winning championships or team play.
And those were just the issues on the court.
The NBA had this image of an all-black league with a bunch of guys who did drugs. The teams were losing money, and they had no sponsors. And that's pretty much a death knell right there.
It's a known fact that you need your white superstars. You just need more white ball players on the team for the white fans to identify with.
And in the newest member of the Boston Celtics, that's exactly what the league appeared to be
Larry
getting.
Bird.
There's hope he can help solve professional basketball's difficulties, which some say are compounded by a question of black and white.
The great white hope. What does that mean?
Well, you know, it's very hard to say because there's a lot of great white players around, and I just hope that I can just fit in as well as some of them that has fit in.
He ran away from that designation. He made it very clear, almost from day one, that he was not the great white hope.
You know, the great players are the black players, and they're the best.
Such deference meant little to black Celtics like Curtis Rowe, Sidney Wicks, and Cedric Maxwell, who looked at Bird and saw not the great white hope, but another case of great white hype.
He didn't impress me no more than any white guy I've ever seen play before. I think that you
Oh,
say
you
that
hating.
those black
Yo,
players.
black, sorry, yeah. I don't even know who this is, bro. You hating on Bird gang? You get your spot took now.
The time were racist. In the sense that
Big ol' eyes.
we did not think that you could find a white guy who could play better than any black guy.
When I walk in the first day of camp, them guys were on the floor stretching, and here comes the white savior, here comes this, here comes that. I sort of enjoyed it because I knew I was going to battle them all day. But Curtis and Sidney didn't last long. They didn't even make it through the first practice, and they were cut. So then it was just Cedric.
I'm thinking, oh, he's slow, he can't get off a shot. He's not that strong. This is gonna be a layup. Bam, knocks down the jump shot. Okay, maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam, knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm gonna D this guy up. I'm gonna show him what it's like. 20 feet away. Bam, 25 feet away. Bam. My mind just goes to, damn, this white guy can play.
Yeah, put them boys wrong, Larry.
Too. The storied Celtics might have been the winningest team in NBA history, but they were fresh off their worst season in 30 years. And in Bird, they had a player who was not only supremely talented, but tough enough to take on any challenge.
I always played like everybody in the world was against me.
Yeah, Larry, get up on him.
Think up things to get me rattled before a game.
Yeah, Larry, get up on him.
I know that from off the floor. One night, somebody was giving one of his buddies a hard time, and Larry went over and, said, hey, this is my friend, and this guy was a pretty good-sized guy. By golly, they go out back, and the guy turns and says something to Larry, and Larry hit this guy, and I caught him. Hit him so hard, I go, whoa. He was from the old school. And
yeah, Larry putting them paws on y'all, see? Everything is stuff sweet because they white. Nah, Larry had them. Tell you.
Larry Bird plays it to the hilt, baby.
Played the game hard. Played rough.
There was no frills about him. He came in, he threw elbows. There was nothing smooth about Larry. New Englanders like that. They're hardworking people. They like that that's how people view them, and that's what Larry was.
Mitty.
They also like winners. And when Bird led the Celtics to the NBA championship in just his second season, he was finally one of those too.
Good stuff, Larry. So Larry won the championship his sophomore season in the NBA, second year. Damn. Larry got to it quick and early. Second year championship. That's GOAT stuff. That's top 10 stuff. Good stuff, Sean.
Boston loved Larry Bird. It just wasn't so clear at first how much Bird loved the city back.
There's only one place I'd rather be, French Lick.
Thank you.
Man, Larry was almost agoraphobic in his treatment of anything outside his hometown.
He wanted to be the Wizard of Oz. He wanted to intimidate people and keep them at bay. The further we are away from each other, the more I like it.
I had a nice little house. I had my little yard. I want to go from there to practice back. If we had a game coming up, I want to go there to the game and back home.
That's how I am,
All
champ.
basketball my whole life.
That's exactly how I am, man. I like to be at home, man. I ain't gonna fake. If I ain't at home making money, if I ain't making money, I'm at home, man. I don't like being out doing stuff, partying. Nah, I'm cool.
It was basketball.
If he was just sitting there with just me, you were looking around mumbling, trying to find things that we had in common that we could talk about. Now, we started talking about basketball, we started talking about players. It was, it was great. U.S. history? No.
We forced passes, we made errors down the stretch.
Daily events? No.
I made the shot, and from then on we was up by 2, and they had to get back in the game, which they did.
Politics? No.
Try to not do anything I can't do or do no more than what I can do. I just go out and try to do my basic game.
He proudly dubbed himself the Hick from French Lick, and he looked every bit the part. But those who played him for simple did so at their own peril.
One of the great ways, I think, of winding up with no money in your pocket is to think Larry Bird is dumb. Syntax is not intelligence. Unlettered is not stupid.
He's got a great sense of humor. He just didn't show that to people. That didn't mean he didn't have it.
He did, however, allow the public one small indulgence.
You could come out on Saturday and watch him mow his lawn.
Huge crowds started to stop. Larry Bird's cutting grass in front of his house. He's mowing his lawn in the springtime.
Larry is about doing things himself. And I think it's one of the things that made him so beloved in Boston.
But as Bird navigated through his new world, he still had one eye fixed on a familiar foe in a faraway land.
Magic!
What tripped me out was I'm riding in the limo, and I'm seeing orange trees and lemon trees in people's front yards. I said, stop, I gotta go pick an orange. Are you crazy? I said, no, I gotta do this. And so I ran up like a scared little kid, grabbed the orange and ran back to the limo. I've never seen an orange tree. I've never seen a lemon tree.
Me either.
I was fascinated.
When 20-year-old Irvin Johnson arrived in Los Angeles in the fall of 1979, he was a world away from Lansing, the only home he'd ever known. He was the #1 pick of the LA Lakers, a once dominant franchise stuck in mediocrity. In the stoic Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Lakers had talent, was energy. Irvin Magic Johnson was only too happy to provide it.
Lit the place up. Changed the franchise, changed the temperament. I changed it from the very first game.
Lakers win.
Here it was, the first game of a long season against the lowly Clippers. And Magic was embracing Kareem as if they'd just won their 10th straight championship. It was like, man, this is a different kind of dude.
From the day he arrived, he became the Prince of the City. He reminded me of a guy who wakes up without an alarm clock. And that's what I used to always say. I want to be happy enough to wake up without an alarm clock because I want to go into my world.
He had it, what it is. As far as I was concerned, the it was not his ability.
Riley.
The it was his attitude, was his leadership, was his mind. I mean, I don't have to talk about Game 6 at Philadelphia.
Magic Johnson will show.
What happened?
In his rookie season, Magic had helped lead the Lakers to the NBA Finals against the Philadelphia 76ers.
Rookie season?
In Game 6, with an injured Abdul-Jabbar back home in LA, Magic played all 5 positions.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about this game. Kareem got injured, Magic stepped up. Sean, rookie season though. Like, bro, this is stuff we ain't never gonna probably see before. Rookie season finals? Come on, bro. Come on, gang. And how dare y'all say Curry is better than Magic? Curry nowhere near better than Magic. Greatest point guard of all time, Magic Johnson.
Abdul-Jabbar back home in LA Magic played all 5 positions, scored 42 points,
Sound like
grabbed
LeBron.
15 rebounds, and dished out 7 assists, leading the Lakers to the championship. In just 4 years, he had won titles in high school, college, and the pros.
Ooh, so he won in his rookie year. He won the NBA championship his rookie year. Oh yeah, nobody, man, Curry can't top that.
What do you have that makes you perform like this in these championship games?
Well,
Rookie of the year, finals,
across the
MVP.
masthead of the Los Angeles Times the next day, it said, "It's magic."
He was a star when he first arrived here, coming off the NCAA game. And quickly, during that first season, he became one of the stars in town. But that game put him on another level. That made him the star in town.
Okay then, Magic.
It's funny how I wanted to meet the celebrities, but they wanted to meet me. I was like,
Muhammad Ali, Michael Jackson.
Like, wow, you know who I am?
He was young, famous, and after Lakers owner Jerry Buss signed him to a 25-year, $25 million contract, very rich. The kid from
25-year, $25 million contract. So he had to pay 25 seasons? I don't think he paid 25 seasons, bro. So how? What?
Lansing was ready to sample a different kind of fruit. His playboy boss knew all the ripest trees.
I said, oh, I'm hanging with him. When they were coming into the box, he had 10, 20 of them, and look, Irvin, which one you want? And I was like, oh, okay, it's like that?
Yeah.
And then he said, I'm going to take you to the Playboy Mansion. What?
Chat, I heard of the Playboy Mansion, but I never looked it up or nothing. I might have to do a video on the Playboy Mansion. Let me know if y'all want to see me do a video on the Playboy Mansion, because I don't know what it is, but I heard it's a big old house. Whole big old house, huh? That parties was through at, so let me know if y'all want to see that video in the comments.
No,
oh snap, I'm at 33 minutes. I'm gonna watch a couple more seconds, son. I'm gonna pause it.
I'm
We're gonna get up out of here.
I can't believe I'm
Part one.
I'm bagging up away. You know, it's like I'm scared to death. Probably 10 guys to 100 women, you know. Everybody think it's sex driven, but it's really not. You have dinner, then you watch the latest movie. And then of course I don't want to ever say that sex wasn't involved, because if you meet somebody, that's what you wanted to do. You did that. But it's really a great experience to go up there. So yeah, I had fun there.
Now, he came to L.A.
Wop the bullet beep bop beep bam, son. Hey, that's 34 minutes in, man. I did a little extra for y'all boys, son. Hey, if y'all enjoyed this part 1, man, y'all want to see part 2, make sure y'all get 10 likes on this video, man. Roll to 1.7K subs, man. Hit that sub button, turn on notifications. Comment down below what y'all want to see me react to next, man. Part 2, comment down below part 2 if y'all want to see part 2 to this video, man. Like I said, roll to 1.7K subs. Love y'all boys. Appreciate y'all boys. I'm gonna catch y'all next video. I'm gone.